morning all, it's Chris from the Ultimate Recycler and Christine's filming.
Hello, and we also have Coco down here.
And we're on a road trip. We're not doing a deal this time, we're not going picking, although we kind of are. We're on an adventure, going to see my folks. It's about a 3-hour drive. Christine will get a bit of footage of the countryside as we're driving, because I know some of you like to see Australia. And we're going to call in on a few op shops, or what do they call them in the States?
Thrift shops.
Thrift stores, shops. Or that type of thing. See if we can find a few treasures on the way, just for a bit of fun, a bit of an adventure.
And this is our bit of Australia.
We're about nearly an hour from home. We've got 2 hours driving yet. And we'll make a few stops because Coco will need a bit of a stretch and a drink and a wee.
And so will we.
And so will we, yeah. So come along, we don't know what we're going to find. I don't know where this video is going to end. First stop is an op shop just across the road. We're just out to give the dog a bit of a walk. And we'll go and have a look. I don't think it's very polite to film in op shops, so we'll show you if we find anything. Okay, excuse us film. You don't mind us film? Okay, here's what Christine found.
Right.
She's got...
I've got a nice random vase for $3.
And what era would that be?
50s.
Yep, 1950s.
I've got a nice depression glass vase for $2. This will make a really nice dunce hat, because I'm the dunce. And this is it's a modern vase, but it's got Art Deco lines on it, so $4.
Yep, very good.
And a cookbook, a large
cookbook, of course.
If cookbooks always sell well.
If any of you follow Christine's channel, you know she loves cookbooks. So that's what she bought. A total of how much?
$14.
14. And I just found a couple of things. I'm a bit of a stingy guy in this op shop. Only 50 cents for a tin. It's modern, but it's nice and blue and white, and it's very collectible. And a couple of modern glasses, but coloured glass looks really good in the shop window. So they were just 50 cents each, so a total of $1.50 for me. So we're just about to hit the road again. Christine's packed up our treasures in respective crates. One crate for me, one crate for her, and what we've turned this video into now is a bit of an op shop challenge. So we'll keep tallies of what we buy, and we'll see who out of Christine and myself can perhaps make the most profit or find the best treasure, or perhaps percentage wise do the best, because we won't end up spending the same amount. Depends how stingy we are, but we'll try and buy, a bit of a challenge to us, we'll try and buy something in every op shop we stop at. Things we probably normally wouldn't buy, but for the sake of the challenge, just to show you that you can turn a profit nearly everywhere if you've got your eyes open. So we'll leave this little town and we'll head off on the road. I think the next town that's big enough to have an opportunity shop is probably another hour down the road, so we'll see you then. So this is some typical land in central Victoria. Bit of cropping, some grazing. There's a few big mobs of sheep just back before we can get to see. There's some on the hill over there. Can you pick those up? So I know a lot of you guys aren't from Australia, and you probably live in various cities and don't see much of Aussie countryside. Well,
it's pretty dry.
Yeah, it is pretty dry at the moment. We're into autumn, and we did have a bit of an early autumn break. It has greened a bit, but we don't want it to dry off too much. There's farmhouses every couple of miles, sometimes a bit closer. Now there's a car coming in. You notice we're on a fairly narrow road. It's always polite to slow down and get off. If you don't want a cracked windscreen, you'll do that, and it's appreciated by all the drivers. Usually get a wave. I think we got a wave.
We did.
So your friends, even though you've never met, this guy's going a bit quick. I'm not waving to them. So yeah, it's just polite driving in Australia. It's probably the same in other parts of the world, but we do have a lot of gravelly roads and narrow roads like this one. And another thing with the Aussie roads is there's always farm equipment. I don't think he knows we're here. This looks like a boom spray for Broadaker spraying of his crops. Now we're not supposed to cross on double white lines, but I think we can because he's going so slow. Yeah, tractor and boom spray. Just out to do some spraying in the paddocks. Some of you might call them fields. There's a nice Art Deco farmhouse. Tumble down sheds. Lots of treasures in some of these farm sheds. So we've done a few picking trips on farms before. So you can see here it is pretty dry, isn't it? It should be nice and green this time of year. Another country Victorian town. Excuse the noise, there's a bit of traffic. This is an old gold mining town called Inglewood. There's some nice shops here. This is an antique shop, but unfortunately it's not open at the moment. Has some pretty nice things in here, but they have some fairly nice prices too. $650 for that Aladdin lamp. Oh, $15 for that little enamel meat mince is pretty good. I'd nearly buy that, but unfortunately they're not open. However, there is an op shop next door. It's the ambulance op shop to raise money for the ambulance. Let's go and see if we can find something in there. Okay, how did you go here, Christine? Did you find some gear?
I did good this time as well. I did good.
You did good?
Okay,
What did you
I
find?
have a Wedgwood trio.
That's good, no damage.
No.
Very nice little piece. That staining should come out with Steridin tablets actually. Works fine.
And this is just a little German vase, which is just $1.
Okay,
So
you
I
like your
usually
German stuff.
I like my West German pottery, but
Yep.
this is not. But it's still cute.
Very good. Okay, my score. What did yours add up to, by the way?
$7.
$7. I spent $3.50,
You're
keeping
always so tight.
keeping in line with my stinginess. But I did get 3 nice English baking dishes, pie dishes maybe, and they're not damaged, so they'll do okay. And just before we finish up here, have a look at this beautiful counter, probably late 1800s pine shop counter, probably original to this building. Amazing piece, but they won't sell it unfortunately. Okay, let's get this paid for. Back on the road again. We've just left Inglewood. We didn't find anything else to buy. We did check out a few of the antiques and collectible shops, but they are all a bit expensive, which kind of is good for us to see because we know that our shops are priced really better than competitive. So we're going through a bit of gold country here now. I mentioned that Inglewood was an early gold mining town, and you see a lot of natural Australian bushland here. I'm going a little bit slower because there's a lot of kangaroos around this area, and they can do a fair bit of damage to your car if they land in front of it. You see the soil here is very gravelly. It's typical of gold areas. It's quite hungry soil. It's not good for cropping. It's not that good for grazing. And all these trees you see here, back in the goldfields era in the 1850s and 1860s, this would look like the moon. So most of these trees are all fairly young and they don't grow to big heights because of the soil. But it's different countryside. It's typical Australian goldfields. I think it's similar to the Californian area, I believe. But anyway, a bit more view of Australia's bushlands. Okay, our last stop before we hit Matawa, which is my parents' or my hometown. This is Sanand, another gold mining town. Some nice old buildings here. There's a couple of op shops, but we're running a bit late, so I've only just caught one. And if we pan around here, we've found a couple of things in the local Vinnie's op shop here. I filmed out here because I didn't want to hear them hear me say that they're very expensive. It was a bit of a challenge to find things. I picked up this little casserole, which I think is an English one. It's not damaged, and I paid $3 for that, so I was happy enough with that one. I think I can easily get 10 for that. Christine got this little serving dish, which is a Japanese one, for $4, so it's not so bad. This large modern vase was, how much was this one?
That one was $4.
So it's very large, but it's undamaged.
It's very difficult to buy a bargain.
It was difficult to find a bargain. I did find this old retro saucepan with an anodised aluminium lid. It's pretty clean, and that one was $5. The KitchenAid is pretty popular. I reckon I can get 15 for that. So we did manage to find a couple of things, but yeah, a lot of the stuff was very overpriced. So alright, I think that'll be our last one for today, but we'll keep an eye out. There is an op shop in Matawa where we're staying for a few days, so we might get to have a look in there.
Coco. Hey, Coco.
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 Close up. Okay, we made it here last night, and we're out this morning. We're heading into the local town. This is more cropping land that I'm used to. I think last clip you saw the goldfields area. This is a very flat country, good cropping land, and this is a small town not far from our farm. It's only about 750 people, which is a small town for us.
And this is your birthplace, isn't it?
Yeah, this is where I grew up. So coming into the town now, see it's called Matawa, see the sign?
Alright, I'll get the sign.
There you go. hasn't changed much in 100 or 130 years. It's always been a farming community. Home of the famous stick shed. We might take a video there one day.
Or put a link in the comments.
We can put a link. Yeah, we'll put a link in the comments to the stick shed. It's well worth a look. Built in World War II. There's the football ground. Looks like someone's doing some maintenance. And oh, looks like it's a traffic jam. One car. It's peak hour. Pretty quiet place. There's the lake out there. It's quite a windy day. It looks like there's waves on the lake.
So what's this building here?
Oh, that's one of the early homesteads of the town, Rables. That's where the doctor was in the early days.
And this one over here?
And there's a beautiful big old hotel that's fallen into a bit of disrepair. I believe it's going to be renovated, the Mama Gully Hotel. I think that was built in the early 1900s. So this is the main road through town. As you can see, it's pretty quiet. I went to kindergarten in there about 50 years ago. A bit longer.
I think a bit longer, yeah. Unless you were kept in.
And this is the main shopping street.
And this is our co-pilot.
So the central business district of Matoa. I used to have a business down here myself when I was a mechanic. So this isn't a weekend. This is, what day are we? Tuesday, lunchtime Tuesday, just after lunch. So it's not exactly a busy shopping centre. That was my old shop.
Where?
Just there, you missed it.
Oh, I missed it, okay.
A lot of the shops are empty now. So we're going to the op shop. It's just up here on the right. I might do a Yui. Hey, here we go. We're in Matoa op shop, well stocked. Lovely ladies here that run the place. And Christine has found some treasures. What have you got there?
I'm a lovely lady.
Of course, yeah. What have you found?
I have a Dalek canister. It's modern, but it's $4.
$4, nice colours.
I'm getting some roller
Oh,
skates.
are you really going to use them? I've got to
Well,
get video of you trying to stand up on
I
them.
don't think my big toe would fit in there.
They're
really
quite
heavy.
quite vintage.
$3.
Excellent. Good buy.
Oh, actually, I'm not going to get this because it's got big chips
Oh,
around
okay.
it.
That's a Japanese
Yeah,
jug, is it?
was, so I'm not going to get that. So for $7.50, so I'm getting this
What's the tray?
tray.
Is that Darcy
Is it
Doyle
really?
or something?
I'm not sure
It's
it's
Australian
not mine.
type scene.
Yeah, they used to have biscuit tins and everything too.
Yes, they
Yeah.
did, exactly. I think it is Darcy Doyle.
So $7.50.
$7.50. Now I found a couple of suitcases. So I think they were 4 each. Was that right?
$4 and that's
I'll pay 4 each if you're happy with that.
right. Yeah, yeah.
Yep. So $8 for a couple of suitcases. So when Christine kicks me out of the house, I can pack my
Your
clothes.
teapot.
And how
Most
much?
you've spent
That's,
all week.
How much was the teapot?
Two. That's 10.
Two. So I've spent $10. That's the most I've spent out of what 4 op shops.
Yep.
Anyway, we're happy with our gear. We better pay for it and get out to the van. Okay, we're home again. Our trip home was relatively uneventful. We only found one op shop that was open, and it wasn't really practical to film there. So back home, here's our crates, and this is what we bought at the last op shop. Christine got this large casserole. It's kind of a retro look, and it's in really good condition. And I think it's actually made in Norway from memory. Let's have a look. It has Norway stamped on it, so that should sell pretty well. She got a little teapot, sort of a retro red aluminium teapot in good condition, and a little orange vase that, as I said earlier in this video, coloured glass looks really good in our shops. Needs a bit of a clean up, but Christine did quite well there. It was a hard op shop to find things in. It was a bit of a mess actually, but she spent a total of $5 there. And the only thing I found was this mixing bowl. It's a milk glass original Sunbeam mixing bowl that goes with the Sunbeam Mix Masters. I find they sell really well. There's always people that are looking for replacements. I think they have kind of dropped them with buttery fingers, and as they're glass they just shatter. So I only paid $1 for that, and I reckon I can easily get 15, so that'll be a good percentage winner. So that's the extent of our treasures we found on our trip. What we'll do next is I'll unpack them and we'll spread them out and have a bit of a look, and then we'll go through what each of us spent in total, and I'll get Christine to go through and price hers out. I'll price mine out, and then we won't finish this video off until we actually have everything sold. And here's our hauls all spread out. Christine's got a really nice selection there. Good colour, nice variety. What did yours add up to, Christine?
$41.50, I think.
41, yeah, I think that was right. $41.50 for all that. And next section she'll price that out in her shop, and I'll do the same with mine. Here's mine. Not as much quantity. And I spent, I don't remember.
The suitcases.
Oh yeah, the suitcases down here. That's right. I think they were the best thing of the lot.
Yes, not happy about that.
And I spent a total of $24 on mine. Okay guys, it's a number of weeks since we last did this. You saw it a few seconds ago. We've got to finish this video off, and I've got some figures here, so let's have a look at how we did. Okay, you can see there our lists of pricings. Christine ended up buying quite a lot more than I did.
I'm a good shopper.
Well, you like shopping. So yeah, and that's
Are you
roughly...
saying I'm not a good shopper?
Oh, well, I'll reserve my judgment. We'll wait and see what the figures are.
Okay.
That'll prove it. You can see what we priced things out at. We normally wouldn't have bought a lot of this stuff, but because we made it a challenge, we had to buy something out of every op shop, and that's what we ended up doing, so we succeeded there. Probably the best thing, Christine priced out that Norway casserole at 50. It turned out to be quite a nice piece. And the suitcases I did at 45. They were probably the best. Let's see how the challenge panned out. The profits. My profit turned into 125. Christine's 242. Let's go down one more step. The total profits, 101 for me, $200.50 for Christine. And the whole competition is going to be worked on percentages. I made oh, there we go, you saw them both. 520% on mine, 583% on Christine's.
Oh yeah, I'm a winner.
She is a good shopper, look at that. So we haven't actually sold all this stuff. I was going to leave this video to finish up once we'd sold everything. We have sold a few things, and I think you sold the willow tray.
The willow tray cost me 50 cents, and I sold it for $20.
For 20, yep.
Yeah.
So we've done really well on most of it. Some of it we may have to discount at the end. But the whole point of this was to show you that you can turn a profit nearly everywhere if you look. Some of this stuff, if I was just browsing op shops and having a normal trip, I probably would have bought the suitcases. I don't think I would have bothered with much else. And yet I've sold a few of these things that I got 50 cents and turned them into $5. What would you have definitely bought? Probably the roller skates. They were cool.
Oh yeah, the roller skates. I loved those. I made a few mistakes though. The Wedgwood Trio on. Did you put my list on there? My pricing list.
No.
No. Okay. The Wedgwood Trio. I should have actually looked at that properly when I purchased it, because it did actually have a crack in it. So I probably won't get even $10 for it.
Yeah. Okay.
There's also. I think the German vase has got a little chip, and so did the cookie canister. It looked like a TARDIS, but.
Oh, that one?
Yeah, that's got a tiny little crack you can barely, or a chip you can barely notice it. So
Yeah.
I need to actually look at what my purchase
Okay,
is
even
better.
so, if you look at our percentages,
Oh, yeah.
you know, it's not hard to make dollars. One thing with opportunity shops or thrift stores, we do not haggle because they're a charity. We don't like to haggle with them, so whatever they ask, we pay. And I think that's fair, because you don't want to start beating them down. They're selling it for charity. Sometimes I've even given them more if I found something particularly good. So I think that's the right thing to do. So let us know if you'd like us to do more of these challenges. This one kind of eventuated, as I said at the start of this video, I wasn't sure where it was going to go. But we had a bit of fun. I hope you guys did too.
And I won!
And Christine won. Congratulations, you're the best shopper. I might point out only just.
Yeah, but I always win.
Thanks guys, I'll see you in the next video. Bye.
Bye-bye.